All right. Welcome back. Merry Christmas, I guess. It's the first thing, right? Hopefully you had a good one. Got not lots of presents and stuff. My Christmas was pretty good. Um, not too much new on my side here as far as the game goes. They did release some new stuff here. It seems like this Fuji Kiseki's Showtime event. I've only played through it once, so I don't really know what that's all about. But I think it's just more rewards more than anything. So you just get more stuff from running a career. But besides that, uh, yeah, as my title of the stream suggests, this might be my last stream here because I think I've covered pretty much everything I've wanted to when I started streaming this game. I think if you have followed on throughout the series, it should be pretty clear, pretty obvious what you should be doing as far as training your horses, how to actually play the game, as far as how to manage your carrots and your gold coins or whatever these things are, uh, and just kind of how to level up your account. Most of my horses now, not most, all of them are A pluses, right? I have some A's here and stuff and B's and stuff left over from when I was building the account, but I haven't really gotten above an A plus. Not nothing in the S territory yet, and I think that's mostly just because we're building our support card deck still, right? And in the beginning, it was kind of an exponential growth curve as far as the types of support cards you were going to get. But now, the support cards that we need in order to advance in the game are going to be much harder to come by, right? Let's see. If we look here, I mean, we have pretty much all the regular SR ones, I think, for the most part, unless they release new ones. But we've all got them pretty much maxed out, I would say. We've got a few SSR cards that are quite valuable, like Kitasan Black. We were able to get that during the last pull up to level 45, which is nice, and could probably max that out at some point, either by pulling another one or using the rainbow or whatever, the shards or whatever, right, to level that up the last bit. We've also got the Rice Shower card here up to level 45 during that event. And we got El Condor Pasa up to level 50, right? So, you know, not the best SSR cards. We've got a handful, maybe two or three that are really good. Like the Kashimoto card, we got to level 40, right? But the rest of the other SSRs, like Super Creek, the ones that were missing, really, Super Creek would be a good one to get, and Fine Motion would probably be a good one to get, and then maybe some of these ancillary cards like Biko Pegasus, getting that up to level 50 would be nice. You know what I mean? Or any of the other SSR cards really available, which we don't have a lot of. But pulling on support cards at this point in the game, if you've gotten this far as I have on this account, right, they're going to be a lot harder to get, basically, because you're going to be depending on RNG, like a lottery system, right? Unless you pull on specific banners when they release, specific support cards, then you have a better chance of getting them. Like we got the Kitasan Black, right? We got Kashimoto. We pulled on that banner, and we got Rice Shower from that as well. So yeah, that's basically, over time, maybe, few months to a year, you'll slowly build your deck up to where it's very powerful. But otherwise, if you're not pulling on banners, I'm not sure that it'd be super easy to level up your cards any more than, what they have or what I have now. So this is probably pretty typical of a free to play player's deck at this point, you know, the kind of the stuff that I've been able to obtain. And so, yeah, I don't see too much progression here, and it wouldn't be fast at all, right? It would take a lot of time. And the next carrot pull that I would do, I was thinking of actually pulling on trainees instead, right? Because there's a lot of trainees here that we don't have, but these are all 3 stars. So, you know, these would be better off pulling from specific banners as well, right? Whenever they, I don't know, whenever, whatever runner that they have, right? For me, I think I would need another dirt horse and then maybe one more sprinter. I think would be, although there are, I do have 2 sprinters here. Yeah, maybe a 3rd sprinter, possibly to round out my team. And then another dirt horse for sure, because I think Haru and El Condor Pasa are pretty much the only dirt horses I have. So, you know, maybe like a Taiki Shuttle would be a good pull. Or I don't know who else is a dirt runner here. I'm not really familiar with all of these characters. But that's kind of what I was thinking in my head, is the next carrot pull I do would be for trainees, right? And that's not going to advance our uh, like position as far as like how good our horses would be, right? Because our horses are pretty much capped, I think, at this point. I mean, I think I've run a couple 14,000 point, maybe not 14, maybe 13. Let's take a look here again. Let's see, rating. I think our highest horse is Sakura Bakushino at 14,000. And that was right on the edge of an S rating, right? But you can see here, most of these horses that I've run, they're capping at around 13,000 points ish, right? Or close to it, 12.7, you know, 12.6, 12.5, right? So the majority of them are landing around that area. And without better support cards, I would say that's really not going to change all that much. You know, a little bit of variation up and down, right? Some you might get a little higher, some you might get a little lower. But in general, this is kind of where you're going to end up, just because of the nature of what your cards are going to give you, the stat points they're going to give you. I've played around with parentage and also switching up support cards and all kinds of stuff. And generally, it just kind of, you know, you can't really go above a certain level, right, without better support cards, which I've, you know, maintained throughout my streaming career here, which is very short. Although I have run 47 streams, apparently that's a lot. Not that anyone watches them, but 47 streams later, right? My message is still the same. Stats. Look for stats and upgrade your support cards. And then now that our support cards are getting to like, you know, there's a ceiling to how much better our support cards can get, right? It's like kind of leveling off, right? Like in the beginning, we were like down here. We were using like R cards, right? Like regular cards. And then they slowly started ramping up when we started getting like SR cards, right? And then we started getting SSRs. And then, you know, so it was like a steady like progression up. And then now we're sort of, you know, like tapering off, you know, and only like incrementally getting better every time we pull support cards, right? Because for the most part, in general, we've pulled like pretty good ones. We don't have like the most decked out, you know, support card deck, but like I said, it's gonna take a while unless you spend money and just get them, you know, immediately right now. It's gonna take a while for them to get much better, to level up our support cards or pull the ones that we need or whatever. So yeah, pulling new trainees, I don't know how much that would help because, like I've said, all the trainees are kind of the same. You might have your favorites, depending on their, I don't know, how they look or their storyline or whatever. But generally, all the horses are pretty much the same thing. You know what I mean? Like they're better at certain things rather than others. but in general, you play them the same way. You wouldn't play them any differently, right? Maybe a little bit depending on the type of track they're good at, short or long. You know, if they're dirt or turf, I don't think there's that much difference there either. Though I mean, in the way that you play them, the only real difference would be short and long, right? Would be the only differences. And I've shown you guys how to play those two styles: a shorter run horse and a longer run horse. What you would do to adjust your deck a little bit. Basically, just focusing less on stamina for a short horse and more on stamina on a long horse, right? Otherwise, the build's pretty much the same, right? So this game is, yeah, you know, it's pretty straightforward, I would say, at this point. I did finish this thing. So yeah, that's why, like I said, I don't know that I have too much more to talk about this game, unless I started doing like stuff that's strictly for entertainment purposes, right? Like doing stupid builds and stuff. But it wouldn't be that interesting because we all know what works and what doesn't, and so I would be doing less than optimal build paths, and it wouldn't really be that much better. I have shown you guys the guts build, where you use all guts support cards, right? And you can build a decent horse. It just won't be good in PvP, but it is more for spark farming, I would say. There is one thing that I've sort of realized, not really realized, but and not even really learned, but basically having wit sparks I think is quite valuable because training wit, right? Whenever you train wit, like the max you can get would be like 20 maybe if you're rainbowing there, if you use a wit card. Generally we tend not to use wit cards, right, in the playstyle that I've shown. I have mixed them in here and there, like maybe one wit card sometimes, depending on like if it's a short distance track, or if it's a short distance runner, or like a sprinter or something. Wit might be more valuable there. But in general, when you train wit, you only get, if you're not rainbowing, you only get 10 points. Right, so I think wit sparks could be quite valuable, having wit spark horses in your stable, but generally we don't train wit up high enough to get a 3-star wit horse, right? Because you have to have 1100, over 1100 in that particular stat category in order to get a 3-star or have a chance at getting a 3-star. And generally we don't train wit up to 1100. So I don't know how viable that would be. So yeah, and then some horses you kind of need the speed sparks or the stamina sparks or whatever to get to 1200 anyway. So I don't know how. Basically, it's just the less you're able to train wit, then you'll get more stats in other places, right? So I don't know exactly how I would like account for that, other than, you know, just running spark farms specifically targeting wit sparks, right? But that can be really grindy, and I don't know that I would want to do that. It's just not fun, right? So yeah, that's pretty much my spiel. I guess I'll run a career just for, you know, funsies. And we could try this level 2, I guess, of Showtime mode. I don't know that this is a smart decision, because I don't think we'll win if we do that. But I guess we'll try it. As far as who to run, I've run all of these horses already, right? And you've seen pretty much all of them on stream. These are the main ones. I was able to get Air Groove Star Unlock, and that's why she's like the current horse right now. I guess we could just run her again. Why not? And I've already have her parents laid out here, so that makes my life easier. And this is the deck I've been running pretty much for horses in general. Long distance horses, you could run an extra stamina card here if you wanted to, so 3 speed and 2 stamina. If you were to do that, I would recommend running a speed parent horse, but unfortunately for Air Groove right now, the parents I have available for her, there are no speed spark parents for her available to me. So that's why I'm running for speed and one stamina card. So we'll go ahead and start that career. And as always, we're just fishing for friendship, because in this Unity Cup mode, excuse me, in the Unity Cup mode, the trainings don't level up unless you do spirit trainings, right? Getting a lot of wit trainings here in the beginning. I mean, we do have to train wit at some point, so it's not necessarily a bad thing, and we're not expending any energy doing that. But that's generally not a good start if you're just training wit nonstop in the beginning, but that's what it looks like it wants us to do, so... Some weird, like, sawing noises coming from outside. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there's some weird, like, sawing noises coming from outside. It's weird. I don't know who'd be sawing on Christmas Day. Yeah, lots of wit. I guess we'll just go with it. We do need to train wit at some point anyway in the career, so... Hopefully that means we'll get more, you know, speed trainings and stuff later on in the career. Slow metabolism, oh, that's not good. That is not good for us. So we'll try to get rid of it here. There we go. What is this? We don't need energy, so I guess we'll do this. Don't really want to train guts, but this is the best available training. We'll take power since generally I've been taking wit in those multiple choice things, but since we're training wit so much, I'm gonna take the power instead. But yeah, that's something that's changed in my playstyle, I guess, is in the little events when you can choose what kind of stats you want. I've been taking wit a lot more just because of what I was talking about, that you don't get as many stat points in wit when you train it, and so to me it's worth it to not do a wit training, right? Because generally you only take wit trainings when nothing else is good, or when you have very low energy and you don't want to rest. So it's kind of a wasted training in a way, and so that's why I'll try to, you know, minimize the amount of times I do wit training. Unless like in this career, you know, wit is like the most obvious one to take, obviously. And nothing's changed for me as far as spirit training goes. I take it when it's there. It doesn't really affect my decision making. I still prioritize friendship over spirit training. And I take it, you know, if it happens to be there, or I'll use it as a tiebreaker. Sometimes if two trainings are the same, then I'll take the one with more spirit bubbles in it or whatever. Um, this is kind of risky. I've been playing a lot more safely these days. So I'll choose to rest a lot more than I used to. I think in the long run, you get better horses when you don't. Pretty much if you don't fail, because if when you fail, it's you lose a turn basically, right? Because you have to rest anyway. And so just resting early, unless the training's like really good, where it's like 3 rainbows or something, then I'll risk it, because that's worth risking for. But if it's not worth risking for, then usually I won't risk any trainings anymore. Not like I used to. Play a lot more conservative now. Single rainbow. I do want to get friendship levels up, so the speed training might have been better, but that one had a friendship level I needed to get up, and then also 3 spirit bubbles, so it seemed kind of worth it. Might be training guts a little too much here now. I think we might have to stop training guts. Stamina. I think this is a good resting turn, but I'll take a date instead. Energy and wit, sure. Nice. Second? What the hell? Maybe it's from all the wit training we did. Or it could be our mood down that we got like right before the race too. It's kind of a bummer. Randomly. That might mean we might have to run an extra race for her unique skill. We didn't get a lot of spirit trainings during this run. So we'll have to tear down. That's fine. The tearing down, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't seem like. You don't want to tear down too often, obviously, but in general, it doesn't really matter. It's more about, you know, how many trainings you get with the spirit bubbles. What's this? Wit, mood. Don't really need mood, so I guess I'll take wit. This looks like a resting turn to me. We'll take another date. Nice. 2 spirit bubbles here, or spirit bursts. Oh, we get 2 friendships here though. Oh man. I think the friendship is more important here. Double rainbow, I like that. Single rainbow. I think I would do this one, but our energy is a little bit too low, so we're gonna take a full rest here because the date didn't make a difference. Because we got sleep deprived. Ah, oh, son of a bitch. Right, we're gonna do a check on our fan count here. We're at 26,000. And we are in the classic year, early April. So not really on track, but I guess we can check after the next race because it's only in 2 turns. Spirit burst and wit. Yeah, why not, I guess. Really want to finish off the friendship levels of Super Creek and who is it, Biko Pegasus. Man, these trainings are really bad. I guess we'll take the wood training since it's essentially free. $47,000. And it's May. We'll see when the next race is. 9 turns. I think we'll be okay then at 9 turns. I think. We might still be on track. Oh, here we go. 2 friendship levels here. Now they're both orange. The ones we're looking for. So everyone is max friendship level or whatever. Spirit Burst in speed or Rainbow and stamina? I think we need to go for the Spirit Burst and speed. We're in the Unity Cup. It looks like we're still a little lacking. So we're going to tear down again. Like I said, it doesn't really matter. Alright, we have a double rainbow, Spirit Burst and Power. The Spirit Burst and Wit. I think the double rainbow is the way to go here. We are very low on energy. I don't like taking rests in the summers, but I think we have to. No real choice there. We have a rainbow and stamina, which I think is worth taking. It's power, guts. We don't really need guts, so we'll take power. Got a single rainbow and speed. Spirit Burst and Power. That's a lot of stats and power. Spirit Burst and Guts. 17%. 16%. Yeah, I guess. Oh. Good thing we didn't fail. That's a good skill too, Late Surger Savvy. Definitely need to take this rest though. Good thing that wasn't a crazy training. These trainings aren't all that great, so I'm gonna take a Kashimoto date. Why did our mood just go down? Not the best trainings again, but we could take the rainbow, why not? Not getting any multiple rainbows so far. I think we had 1 double rainbow so far, I think. That's not going to cut it if we want to get a good career out of this. So we're over the 60k mark for her unique skill, and it is October. So I think we'll be okay. We'll see in how many turns this next race is. 9 turns. That might be before the April deadline. I mean, we got the one for February. We got that one locked in. In 9 turns would be late March. Yeah, so as long as we pretty much win that one, the next race, we should be good for a unique skill to max out. So I don't think we have to worry about it, but you know, we'll try to monitor that a little bit. These trainings are terrible, so we'll take another Kashimoto date. We're running out of dates though. There's some careers where you know, don't really go on dates at all. And then there's some where you run out of dates really early in the career. So I haven't really figured out a good way to manage those. It just because it's RNG, right? So randomly, you know, your whatever will happen, and then or like your energy level is just kind of in a weird place, and the trainings aren't very good. Like this turn, the trainings are all pretty bad. So just like, you know, well, you know, instead of just wasting the turn, I'll just take a date or whatever, and then you end up like using too many of them or whatever. I'm really not liking any of these trainings. I guess we'll take this one. None of these are good either. I guess I'll take the weight for more this for the spirit training more than anything. I don't know. I'm not trying to do spirit trainings, you know, like I'm trying to get my stats up. Alright, we're graded higher than this team, so we'll just take this. Generally, if you're just rated higher, then you'll win. I have lost to a lower rated team maybe like once or twice. But generally, you're pretty safe if you're just higher rated. Double rainbow is nice. That's nice. Another double rainbow. Spirit burst and stamina. I mean, that's probably the only training really worth taking anyway. Not getting very good trainings this career run, so I don't know how good this will be. I don't think it'll be very good. Double rainbow. Oh, triple rainbow, but I don't think we can take it. It's just failure percentage a little bit too high. Oh, that's a bummer. That triple rainbow finally got one. Oh, you know why we must have lost that first race is because we're on that Showtime mode on level 2. So the races are going to be a little bit harder. Got a golden inspiration, that's good. I don't think we got that many more stats from that though. From being at golden. Back to single rainbows. I mean, that's not a bad training. That's 40 points. I don't know. I think we need to take speed here, though. Power, I don't think is that important, honestly. Because I've had high power horses get... my horses that with really high power stats get beaten by other horses, enemy horses with very, you know, not as many power stats. But they had like more stamina. I think stamina generally is like kind of the king, other than speed, right? Speed is always king. And then second is stamina, which is why it's in second place, right? It's the second stat in the training window or whatever. And then power, yeah, is important, but not that important. And then guts is actually kind of important. And then, yeah, wit. So I think it's like in order of importance here. This double rainbow would be nice, but we're a little low on energy, so we're just gonna rest. Seems like we're off a little bit. Something like the rhythm of it is a little off, right? I guess I'll take this. I'll take the mood down. So our training rhythm is a little bit off. We should be... We should have rested somewhere, I think, in order to match the rhythm. And we just didn't. We didn't rest at some point. And now we're a little bit off. I mean, this was a good training, though. Double rainbow with the spirit burst. That's nice. Second. Oh. We're an A, so it should be pretty easy. None of these trains are very good, so it actually makes sense to rest now because of our mood is not great. So summer training raises our mood, so that makes sense to take there. Super Creek's holding on to her Spirit Burst for a really long time. Here's a double rainbow in speed. The stamina training is pretty good too, actually, but I guess we'll take speed. We're almost at the end of her career here. I don't think it's been a very good one so far. It's been very mediocre. Oh, here's another good training. 61 points, but the failure rate, oh man. Is this worth risking it for? I think it is. It's 100 points. Oh, nice. We didn't fail. That was risky though. The failure there might have... Oh, another one. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, another one. I mean, that's pretty lucky, I guess. I mean, our speed stat is in a good place now to max out to get to. We might need to train it maybe just one more time, and then it might be good. Might not need to touch it anymore after that. Because generally, I found that once you get to 1100 by the URA, you know, the event start, then, you know, you'll get to 1200 just from the bonus points and stuff you get. I think I've risked enough at this point, so I'm gonna rest here. We should get speed trainings pretty pretty guaranteed from here on out. At least single rainbows. So I'm gonna try to pad our stats in some of these other categories here. We do need to get wit up to 400. So we're gonna try to do that. Super Creek finally bursted her spirit bubble. And then the other stat I want to get up more would be stamina. I think we're good on all these other ones. Like power is in a good spot. I guess we'll take the stamina one here. Or I mean speed, sorry. So we're 1100 and before the URA finale started. So we're in a good spot here. I think stamina really is the only stat now that we need to kind of focus on. But unfortunately, Super Creek is nowhere to be found. So I guess we'll just get our wit stat up to 400. Those back-to-back triple rainbows really helped us along in this career. Without those, I think this career would have been kind of a fail, but this might be, depending on how this goes for the rest of the way through, might be okay, might be pretty good here. We won the last cup, that's good. That was kind of iffy. Alright. Oh, this is a good example. I didn't point this out earlier, but if you see here, right, the wit training is only 11 points. So even though it's a free training, it's kind of a waste because you could get, you know, more stats even in like a crappy training like this where there's nobody there, right? You still get like 15, so you get more stat points. That's why I was saying spark stats might be kind of valuable. I mean, spark inspirations. Here's another triple rainbow, which we don't really need because we're going to max out. So I'm going to take the stamina one instead. We might need maybe one more training to get to 1200 speed. Maybe not though. Got another stamina rainbow, which is great. She didn't really get that many fans this career, huh? Maybe because she got second place a couple times. So this is the last training of the career. I think we need to throw it into stamina here. We need to risk this. The other thing I could do is take a date and play it safe, right? Because we do have one date left. But I think the way to do it, just risk this for stamina since the last training of the thing. And we didn't fail, so great. I don't think we failed one training this whole career. So that's really good actually. I usually average at least one failure a career, at least. But we didn't fail any times this career, so that's really good. Even though the trainings in the beginning weren't very good, right? It doesn't matter that much in the beginning though, because you wouldn't get that many stat points in the beginning anyway. You might get like 10, you know. So we'll see how this turns out for us. We might have not maxed out in speed actually. Yeah, 1181. So just barely didn't make it. Almost 1,000 in power. Didn't make that. Guts are over 500, which is pretty good. So we might have overtrained that a little bit. But guts does matter more these days since the update. And so having more gut, I noticed the horses I lose to generally have higher gut stats than I do, or than my horses do, right? So we'll get the normal things here. Oh, we didn't get a professor of curvature. That's kind of a bummer. I think Airgroove is a late surger, isn't she? Or is she a pace chaser? I don't remember. I think she's a late surger, I want to say. There's nothing worth 76 points. Maybe we'll do something else then. Mid race? Does she really pass anyone mid race? I'm not sure. It is a gold skill. There was nothing for 76 points though. Is there something we can switch out instead? Fighter, maybe? Or should we just end it? I guess I could just take this. Whatever. Alright. I guess we'll see where she ends up here. I'm thinking it's an A+, probably. Yeah. Ooh, 13,000. So pretty good. So this is at the upper end of the ceiling I was talking about. And it wasn't like the best run, right? The run could have been better, especially if the trainings in the beginning of the game were a little bit better. There were a lot of kind of wasted turns, because I think I remember at least 2 or 3 turns where the training was just, you know, dog shit, right? And we just took whatever like was available, but they weren't very good. And then we didn't get very many rainbows, multiple rainbows. We got them towards the end there. I think we hit 2 triple rainbows there at the end. That really kind of saved this career. Without those, this would have gone nowhere. So if we had gotten a little bit more of those, then I think, you know, this would have been a really good horse. But I mean, even so, it's the best horse we've created so far. Or the best version of this horse, at least. Show gauge increase rate 100%. I don't understand what that means. Show gauge increase rate from completing goals 50%. What? I don't know what that means. I don't really understand this mode here. Alright, well, I guess I unlocked level 3. I don't know what that means really, but okay. Our team got a little bit better. She's still in 3rd place because she's not a sprinter. But maybe when I get another sprinting horse, right, to replace her, she'll move over to one of her more natural positions and edge one of these other horses out. All right. Well, we're done there. We'll run a team race just for fun, just to see how they do. I haven't really been winning any of these lately. Been doing the other horses have been killing me. Yeah, I lost this one again. And the funny thing is though, when you actually look at them, they're not that much better, honestly. So I don't really understand what, you know. So here we won, right? This one we lost, and we lost to a King Halo. So she's 1178, 630, 990, right? And then like over 500. So if I try to remember that, 1170, 630, 990. Our King Halo is 1163, 650, 1180, right? 440 and 500. So it's really not that much different. Actually, my power is a lot higher. My stamina is pretty much the same because I think it was 630 for the other horse, right? And then speed was just like slightly lower. I think the other horse was 1178. So it was only 15 points difference. The big difference was the guts was over 500, right, on that horse. The other horse had 550 or something like that. And its wit was around 550 as well. And so guts and wit were really the two stats where it was, you know, noticeably higher, and it won. Let's check the second place one. See, this one, the power level is way lower than mine. That's why I was saying that power doesn't really matter as much. And look, the speed's even lower than my King Halo. The speed's only 1108. And stamina is lower, right? It's not even 600. But look at the guts and the wit, right? Way higher than my horse. And it beat me out, 2nd place. And then 3rd place, Taiki Shuttle. This horse is really strong, but stamina, guts, and wit don't really matter. This one is a turf horse, so it does have an inherent advantage. Or not a turf horse, I'm sorry. What was I saying? Well, I thought this was a dirt race. It's not. So yeah, I don't really understand how this works, right? 1st, 2nd, and 3rd all beat me. But my horse here is, you know, noticeably better. And then this is my Sakura Kushino. And then Air Groove obviously is a C rated in sprinting, so she's not going to win. But yeah, sometimes I just don't understand why they're losing. Sakura Bakushino is an S in turf and S in sprint too. And she got 1200 in wit. And her guts is not bad, but she came in behind my King Halo. I know mood has something to do with it, but just I'm just saying that these horses really aren't that much better than mine. I lost this one to Grass Wonder here. She is a very strong horse. Looks like 1200 speed, 900 stamina, 1100 power. 12, 9, 11. And then my horse who came in second was 11, 8, and almost 12. So I think this power stat really doesn't matter as much as you think it would. Maybe it has more skills too than mine do. I mean, kinda. Let's see who he used for, or he or she, I guess, the trainer used for their support cards. They're all SSR, right? All level 50. So this guy's definitely a pay to win, probably. This looks like nice nature. He's got Kita-san. Black, and Kashimoto, and Raishower. I have these three cards, right? Not maxed out like this, but he had two more SSR cards than I did. And then this other race that I lost looks like special week 1, 12, 9, and 9. This one's an S rank. 12, 9, 8, and 900 wit. And my Tokateo is 12, 10, and 8. What did I say it was? 12, 9, and something? 12, 9, and 9. And mine's 12, 10, and 8. You know what I mean? A little bit more guts, right? Because mine only had 400 guts. And so I think that's the difference maker now, is the guts stat. So the more guts you have, the better it is. Look at this one. My horse is 12, 8, and 11. And it's coming in 6th place. You know what I mean? It didn't even beat the stock horse of, what the hell is this? 5, 6, 4, 6, 4? What the fuck is this? I couldn't even, my Musume McQueen couldn't even beat the NPC. So yeah, man, I don't really understand how this stuff works. If my horses can't beat NPCs, then what are we doing here? You know what I mean? I don't know what we're doing here. If yeah, I don't get it. Because it seems like my horses are just as good, if not better sometimes, than the other horses that actually do win. So I don't know, like, yeah, I could create better horses, but I don't know that it doesn't seem to matter. It seems kind of random sometimes. Because this special week won by a lot. It won by 6 lengths. So she was way ahead. And then my Tokateo was so far behind, it just says distance. It wasn't even close. I need to watch this. Let's watch this. Oh, her mood was awful. Okay, I mean that's something. Is this mine? I don't think this one's mine. No, this one's the other guy's horse. Awful. Awful. Oh, all my horses were in awful moods. Okay, that's probably why. All 3 of them were awful? How does that happen? They must have all synced in their what do you call it? Their monthly cycles or whatever. They were syncing. All right, we'll speed this up a little bit. I think my sound turned off, so let me reset that. There we go. So what happened here? We're in awful moods. The NPCs are 2nd and 3rd. That's crazy. The NPCs aren't that good though. They're not. Their stats aren't even close to. They're like half of our stats. They shouldn't even be on the screen. This game, man. This game. It doesn't make sense sometimes. Because the awful mood, I think, I think the nerf is only like, is it 10% per mood? It can't be 10% per mood, is it? I think it's like 5%. Oh, I don't remember actually. But there's his 2 horses, right? I think this Musume McQueen was in a good mood. I don't remember what the special week's mood was. But look at that. Look how far behind we are. Being in an awful mood, that makes that much of a difference? I guess. I don't know. Weird. Anyway, what are you gonna do? That's the that's the randomness of this game, though. The RNG of it. Can't really control what mood are your horses in. I guess I could feed them ice cream or whatever to get them in the mood. But yeah. All right. Well, that's pretty much it. Yeah. So, like I said in the beginning of the stream, I think this might be my last stream. I don't think I'm gonna stream anymore. I guess I could pop in once in a while if something kind of crazy happens, like when I do big carrot pulls or something. But in general, yeah, I don't really have anything left to talk about. Like I said, I think I've shown you guys pretty much everything I know about this game. And then from here on out, it's really just going to be grinding for, better support cards. SSR cards are really rare. So you're not going to get them. It's going to be a very slow, you know what I mean? Even if you unlock a new SSR card, it'll be zero limit breaks. It'll be level 30, and then you might get it to level 35 after a couple months, and then get it to level 40 after a couple months. You know what I mean? It's gonna take like a year to get like a level 50 SSR card. You know what I mean? If you're not pulling on banners and getting the specific ones with 30,000 carats. But generally, that's the way you would want to play this game, right? Is save up your carats, get to 30,000, and then pull on banners you want. Um, so I have nothing left to show you. Honestly, I don't have really anything left to stream because the general gameplay I've laid out for you, and if you follow it, then you'll be making 13,000 point or 13,000 rank horses just like I am. And then you'll only make better horses by getting better support cards, basically, because you were seeing that the horses I was losing to had level 50 SSRs. You know what I mean? Whereas we're kind of we're getting there. We got some level 45 SSRs. You know what I mean? Um, and then the rest of them we're just using regular SR cards. So slowly we're getting there, but it's not going to change as much. Like in the beginning, like I said, it's an exponential growth curve because the more support cards you pull, the better your at least your regular SR cards will get, and then you'll pull some SSRs. You know what I mean? So you'll incrementally get better. But from here on out, the growth rate's going to be very slow. Like we're sort of what are you calling it? Plateauing, right? So the amount of progress that your support deck will make is very small. So generally, this is kind of where you're capping out at, unless you just play for a long time. Over time, it'll get better, but it's a slow progression. That's why I said last stream or the last time I pulled support cards, the next 30,000 carat pull will probably be for a trainee, right? So I can get a free trainee, one that I don't have, one that's a banner trainee, and then grow my trainee roster a little bit, so I'm not using horses that aren't fit for some of the races, because I'm running like C rated dirt horses in the dirt race and stuff instead of A rated horses, right? I mean, I can't control that, what horses I get, what trainees I get, but at least doing a 30,000 carat pull will guarantee me at least one horse that I know what kind of affinities they have, and then yeah, and then maybe switch back to support cards or whatever, because support cards are really the meat and potatoes of this game, right? Because the trainees are kind of all the same. If you have, I would say one ace in every category, then you could just run those in any of the Leo, Libra, Champions Cup, right? And then, your team races, whatever, that doesn't really matter that much. It's nice to win, but it doesn't make or break your game, right? It doesn't really matter. So, and then yeah, so basically, yeah, that's pretty much it. Unless they release a new mode, like we have a Unity Cup mode and URA mode, right? I think generally you would play these two scenarios the same. To me, I would play them the same way. Maybe with slight differences, but generally it's the same. And so maybe if they release another game mode, which is something else, right? I don't know. Then maybe I might pop back on stream to sort of, explain that one. But I think you pretty much know everything I know at this point, and you should be running. Your account should look pretty much, the same as mine, honestly. You might have a little bit better cards. You know, some things might be different, but generally it should be about the same level. We should, if I'm in the A2 team rank, you're probably going to be in the A2 team rank by this point, if you follow my streams pretty closely, and just kind of taking, you know, I'm not saying I know everything and you know my word is the, you know what I mean, I'm not like the know-it-all of this game, but generally if you followed my play style, then you would be in the same sort of stratosphere, I guess, or the like playing level, competition level as I am at this point. Um, I'm generally getting into the B group in the graded league and winning in the top three, winning something, right? Placing. So I get some sort of reward. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So unless you guys have something else you'd like me to do, like I said, I could do stuff that's purely for entertainment, but it wouldn't be optimal for the game, right? It would just be for fun, like to laugh, make something funny or something, like an all guts, or I could do the guts maxing, or you know, it's like dumb stuff that wouldn't really work. You know what I mean? We all know because the game is so like strict with like what works and what doesn't. You don't really have off color builds, right? You can't build something crazy like a 1200 with 1200 guts horse with like 400 speed and win. If that were possible, that would make this game very interesting, right? Because then you'll have to kind of strategize around like, you know, kind of like if it was like a Pokemon style where water beats fire and fire beats grass and grass beats water or whatever. If there was like this weird triangle trifecta, you know, one's better rock paper scissors sort of like play style, that would make this game really interesting, right? Because then you could try all kinds of different kinds of builds. But in general, I think for the most part, you want to prioritize speed, stamina, power, guts, and wit. Just like how it's laid out in the training, that's the order of importance, right? So if you don't have 1200 speed, you're probably not going to win. You know what I mean? I mean, you can win with less than that, but um, generally, maxing some of the lower tier skills like guts and wit is not going to get you the win in the game, you know, generally speaking. So, you know, since all the playstyles are the same, all the horses are kind of the same, you know, it's very one dimensional, this game. So I don't feel like there's anything more I have to talk about it because I think I've covered it in depth. Very minute detail at this point of what you should spend your money on. And I mean in game currency, not like real money. You know, but where you should be spending your time, what you should spend money on, what you should focus on as far as how to train. You know, I think it's all laid out now, and I don't think it'll change much unless they update the game somehow and implement some sort of rock paper scissors sort of strategy thing. That would make it a lot more interesting, but unfortunately, that's not how it is now. And pretty much, yeah, if you play this game once, you kind of get it, right? Like there's nothing more to it than you play it once and you're like, oh, okay. So you just do this over and over again, you know? Yeah, pretty much. You just do the same thing over and over again. Um, so yeah, I'm sort of losing interest in it as well. I don't really play that much anymore. Um, I've been keeping up with it purely for the streaming purposes, but now that I'm not really going to stream it anymore, I might not even play it all that much. You know, I might play it once in a while here just to see what's new, kind of thing, because it seems like they are releasing like more events and stuff, but that's just to keep people playing. But it's like the game itself isn't changing much, right? So I like that they implemented the guts thing, because before guts didn't matter at all. So you could get like 100 guts and still, you know, it didn't make a difference. But now it seems like it's making a difference. Like the horses with higher gut stats, if everything else is the same, it seems like those horses win more, right? Like if I have 400 guts, if I have like 1200 speed, you know, 1,000 stamina, 1,000 power, but only 400 guts, then another horse with the same stats, 12,000, 1,000, but 500 guts, it'll win, right? So I like that they implemented that. It's kind of that makes the game a little bit more interesting. But I still don't think it's enough of a change to really like radically stray from the general strategy. You still want to get 1,200 speed, 1,000 stamina, 1,000 power if you can, even if you only get 300 guts or whatever, right? That's better than, you know, getting 1,000 speed 800 stamina, 800 power with like 600 guts. That's not going to get you anywhere. I don't think. I don't think it's going to make that much. It's not going to give you the edge that you need to win. So yeah. So yeah. Merry Christmas again. I guess this is my gift to you. Is my very last stream. Like I said, I might pop back on once in a while, but generally, I think the weekly streams are going to end here. So anyway, thanks for supporting and watching, and yeah, I guess I'll see you when I see you. Thanks for watching.